composition of functions, not a compost, a composition of functions. All right. So here we have our functions. And what we're going to do is this here, we're going to basically plug a function into a function. Now here we're given one. I like these better because we're given the actual value. So what I'm going to do is this. Now you got to think about this here. It's called f of g of 3. Now think about your order of operations. You do parentheses first. That means I do this parentheses has to be done first. So that means do the g of 3 because it's inside it. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do g of 3. So I'm going to put notice I wrote the -2 where the x is. I put a big space with parentheses plus 1 and I'm going to plug in. Thank you, Rufus. So I'm going to take -2 times 3, which is -6 plus 1, which makes -5. I am not done. I'm now going to take that answer and plug it into the f function. Now notice I wrote this time with the 3, and where the x is, I made a big parentheses, plus 2, but I'm not putting 3 in it. I'm putting -5. Thank you, Rufus. I'm putting the -5 from the problem in. 3 times -5 is 15, plus 2 is -13. And the reason that we do this, there are times where you're asked a question where you have to find one answer before you can put the other answer into the equation. It's a lot used, especially in algebra, in geometry, and graphing, and trigonometry. You have to find something out first, then you use that answer to put it in the other one. This is the math way to write that. So on this next question, to back it up, that means before I can do the f function, the 3x plus 2, I first need to find the answer from the h function. And I'm using -3, so I'm going to plug a -3 into the h function. I'm going to do that one in the parentheses first. And if you kind of remember, a -3 squared means -3 times -3, which is a +9. It always helps if you put things in parentheses. Your calculator will always do it right if you type the parentheses in. 9 plus 1 is 10. That is not the answer. That is the answer I need to put into the other equation. So now I'm going to put the 10 into the 3x plus 2, and notice where the x is, I made a big parentheses, and I'm simply going to plug in the 10. Rufus didn't show up that time. 3 times 10 is 30, plus 2 makes 32. So we're here to get the idea. Do the h last. I'm going to put the j equation into the h one. The j one is simply j of -4, so I'm going to take 5, place the x with -4, which is -20. I will now plug -20 into the x squared plus 1. Now don't forget, -20 squared means the quantity -20 times -20, which is +400, plus 1 makes it 401. This is composition of functions. And notice, you start inside the parentheses and do that first. And what is written first is actually done last.